Trump giving the world a rare glimpse of what compromise looks like, perhaps, at least as how it's being hashed out, allowing the media cameras access to a bipartisan meeting on immigration for about an hour. So what happened after the cameras went away, and what was it like with the cameras there? Senate Budget Committee member David Perdue was at the meeting. He joins us now with an inside story. Senator, when did you become aware that those cameras weren't leaving and this was going to be pretty unique?
Well, as the clock kept winding to 55 minutes of duration of the meeting, the media stayed in. And frankly, I applaud the president for doing that. I think it brought an air of transparency to a conversation that's been attempted here for the last 15 years or more, trying to solve our immigration problem. So I applaud that.
So did you know that they were going to stick around? Did he say, hey, guys, I'm going to ask the pool to stay?
No, I think he just did that as he heard the conversation unfolding. I think he felt like it was good for the American people to see this dialogue firsthand.
All right, so he just winged it. Senator, what do you think came out of that meeting that we saw?
Brian, I think yesterday was a watershed date. I think this president's an outsider. He's a business guy. He just wants to get results on this issue, just like he did on tax. But what we did yesterday is we agreed on two things. One, we agreed on the scope of this current negotiation. We're not trying to solve all the immigration problems here. What we want to do is solve the DACA issue, bring border security to our borders. Third thing is to eliminate chain migration and this archaic diversity visa lottery. And the second thing the president did yesterday was establish a sense of urgency. That's something rare here in Washington.
All right, that's fine. So when do you think that maybe the first phase of the DACA program, border security, chain migration and lottery, when do you think that first phase starts? Are you going to use this funding the government of January 19th as a deadline?
No, those two issues are totally separate. I heard members of the other side talk about that yesterday after the meeting, but January 19th is about funding the government. That's another conversation entirely.
But what if they won't fund the government without DACA, which I've heard that?
Well, we'll have to deal with that as it comes, but that is not righteous. It's not what we should be doing for the American people. What we have right now is a date that we've been given of March 5th, and we're still working toward that date. There are people meeting today. We're going to have meetings today and every day until we get to some solutions on this. And frankly, I think, Brian, we have a unique opportunity that Democrats and Republicans now have a common set of, I believe, objectives here that overlap. I think we've got a unique opportunity in history to actually get this solved.
So when your gut tells you when the 10 Democrats left and they met with leadership, did leadership say to Steny Hoyer, who's technically a leader too, what are you doing? We're not negotiating with here. Did Tammy Duckworth the same thing? Is she going to get some blowback from Nancy Pelosi? Was the decision makers actually not in attendance?
Well, I think there's always some of that, obviously, but here's what is at play here. 72% of America wants this dealt with. 72% believe that immigration should be based on the worker and the immediate family. Name me another idea or another concept or another issue here in Washington where 70% of Americans agree. This is one the American people are going to hold us accountable, just like they are on health care and on tax, Brian. So that's why this president wanted to bring a sense of urgency to the conversation yesterday.
Well, I heard it, but March 5th isn't even a real date because you had that court out in San Francisco say DACA stays for now.
Well, we're still working against this hard date here of March 5th. That's how you bring a sense of urgency and get things done here in Congress. The president said one thing yesterday, and that is he expects results on this issue, and he's willing to work with us day and night. And I think that was evident yesterday in the conversation we had in the White House. So I give the president high marks for bringing a focus to this issue, not trying to solve every problem relative to the immigration problem, but to focus this on the legal immigration system. And I think we've got an opportunity to do that.
Right. I know on the right they feel that way, but they definitely want DACA, and I believe they want it by January 19th. So it's going to be an interesting standoff. Senator David Perdue, thanks so much.
Thanks, Brian.
All right.